as we wait now for the lights here, round 4 in Mexico. We wait for the green light. Let's see, Alain Prost on pole, Ayrton Senna alongside, and the green light comes on as Alain Prost leads the way up into turn 1 in SM Moises Solana. We see there, coming out of the back, Emerson Fittipaldi up in first, getting past both Senna and Alain Prost. Alain Prost now defending from Senna. Emerson Fittipaldi leading the pack now. There has been some movement throughout the field. I can also see Ivan Capelli getting up into 7th. And Kazuyoshi Hoshino with a really bad start, dropping back all the way into 9th place. So he's really got a bad run. It's all single file so far, and Emerson Fittipaldi leading from the front in the first of 67 laps here. Go through the S's they go, and then they'll go on to the straightaway of Recta della Ovalo. With Alain Prost now trying to get past here on the inside of Emerson. Has to back out of that one. So Emerson still holding on. Down the straightaway now, Ayrton Senna challenging Alain Prost. And I think Senna might get past here. It does look like it. But yes, Ayrton Senna does go for the move. Holds it around the outside. So Senna up into 2nd place. With Prost now in 3rd. And Emerson Fittipaldi still in the lead. Then comes Mario Andretti. Then Roberto Moreno. Also a really good start from Roberto Moreno. He started in 8th. And is up into 5th position. Senna though, still under attack from Alain Prost. So they go through the S's once more. And Emerson Fittipaldi, although he's gotten a good start, both Senna and Prost are catching up now. So Emerson will lead through the S's here onto Recta della Ovalo. But surely here Senna is going to make a move. He's going to try to up the inside, but is he going to be able to hold it? No. The outside line on the banked corner, just providing a little bit more grip for Emerson Fittipaldi. And Alain Prost now sending it up the inside once again of Ayrton Senna. Oh, and actually a big lockup there from Alain Prost going into turn 1, so big mistake as we have here also Keiji Matsumoto and Kazuyoshi Hoshino going side by side, but Matsumoto comes out in front. We also have Nelson Piquet fighting with Nakajima behind from the Lotus team. Piquet not with a not a terrible start for Piquet, as he started up in 10th position, so already made up 2 positions. And doing a decent job with that underpowered Benetton. As we can see, he's carrying quite a bit of cornering speed, so he can make up a bit of that straight line deficit, but obviously on a track here like the Autodroma Hermanos Rodriguez, there is a big chance that over time the more powerful engines will come out better, as Hoshino now tries up the inside, nearly holds it, but once again Matsumoto just prevailing. And now we also have Piquet challenging Hoshino, but you just see on the straightaway there, I don't think the Benetton has enough oomph. He's gonna try it though. Oh, and Hoshino goes defensive, and he will hold on to that position. Now we see Alain Prost chasing down Fittipaldi, so Prost getting past Senna once again. And we'll See here if he can also get past Emerson Fittipaldi, who's doing a good job so far, and is profiting from the McLaren and the Lotus fighting behind him. Let's see here now, Alain Prost with a really good run through the S's, right onto the back of Fittipaldi. And Senna right onto the back of those two in front as well. And here comes Alain Prost now. He's gonna try. He doesn't get enough overspeed though, which I think, yeah, he won't have enough grip on the inside there. And Fittipaldi carries the lead once more, and surely this means then that Senna once again gets a chance for the overtake on Prost, and he is gonna send it up the inside. Prost doesn't really fight it too much, as he knows probably both of them don't want to really lose Fittipaldi, so it would be not the smartest decision to fight, because that would allow Fittipaldi to just run away with it. But Prost actually, as I say that, is gonna fight Senna there into Essa del Lago. Then we go up to the hairpin, and then we go to this whole sequence of corners, which is just called the S's. As Fittipaldi carries on, let's take a look a bit further back here, as we see now Roberto Moreno once again doing a fabulous job here up in P5. So Moreno having a good race last time around, and has one now as well, as Senna has to come into the pit with an electrical issue. So reliability keeps plaguing the Lotus squad, and you gotta wonder if they have to start looking at restructuring some of their departments, because Lotus surely can't carry on like this. And now Senna in the pit. He will get some fresh tires on, maybe a bit more fuel. But 4.9 seconds, so fairly quick stop. The pit stop isn't too long here. The pit lane is quite short, so he will drop up to the back of the field, Ayrton Senna, but he might be able to make up quite a bit of time. Fittipaldi now still in the lead with Prost behind, and now Prost, with that pressure being off from Senna, he might be able to set up a better move on Fittipaldi. As we're on lap 6 here in Mexico. And let's take a look a bit further back, as we have Matsumoto trying to hunt down Moreno. But I think Moreno is just making enough of a difference in the S's that he can stay ahead of Matsumoto and prevent him from getting into the slipstream. As we know, the Minardi really fast on the straightaways, so that's where their strength lies. But we all know as well that the Minardi isn't the greatest throughout the corners, so they don't have the strongest chassis, they don't have the lightest car, so straightaways is really their bread and butter. As you can see here, Matsumoto closing up all along that straightaway, has just so much speed compared to the other cars in front of him. Then through the corners you start to see here Moreno just being able to create the difference there. As Prost now still trying to chase down Fittipaldi. Obviously Fittipaldi coming off of that win, as Theo Fabi goes on the move on Stefan Johansson in the arrows. Theo Fabi up into 10th. Fabi starting in 12th. And has made his way up into 10th, as Patrick de Wolf, who started in 16th, is now up into 14th, with Michael Andretti following shortly, or closely behind, I should say. As they head through the S's, maybe Michael Andretti can have a look. And Nakajima now on the inside of Nelson Piquet, but doesn't manage to get that move done. Let's see here on the straightaway. We know the Benetton is down on power, but does the Lotus have enough to challenge here going into turn 1? It doesn't look like it. Oh, and here we go. Ivan Capelli now. Oh, trying the double move almost. Up into 8th now for Capelli. And Capelli really trying his best here to prove he belongs in the McLaren squad. He hasn't had the best run yet, but not scoring a point so far, and Alain Prost really carrying the weight of the McLaren squad to put them up in the 2nd place in the constructors where they are now, and Prost still leading in the championship standings, of course, with Theo Fabi following very closely. Prost at the moment has 13 points, and Theo Fabi, 14 points, sorry, and Theo Fabi has 12. As we see now, Nakajima once again looking for a move, but doesn't manage to. And Capelli now trying to hunt down Nelson Piquet in front. As you can see on a straightaway, that Benetton just having a massive deficit. And Capelli just gaining and gaining and gaining. Meanwhile, Emerson Fittipaldi doing a great job with holding Prost behind, as Jeff Brabham now tries to go on a move on Thierry Boutsen as they go side by side into turn 1. And Brabham does get through there. Meanwhile, we do also have Mario Andretti in P3. So Mario Andretti starting in 7th, making up 4 positions so far. So Andretti really showing some pace here with the Minardi. We can see now Prost trying once again, but seasoned veteran like Prost should be aware right now that that move isn't really on into the last corner there. Or on the outside always seems to have the advantage, so he'll have to try and move somewhere else. And you can see now, with all those moves being tried, Mario Andretti may be slowly closing up, as he's only about 3.5 seconds behind the leader. As we see now, Ayrton Senna also making up positions here. So from last position up into 17th. Let's see if this will be a big recovery race for Senna, but it sure looks like it. And if we can take a look at how the laps compare, you can see there the lap times go from about 120s, high 120s, up all the way into the 123s, the low 123s. But you can see now Ayrton Senna dipping below those 120s, about a full second faster last lap than Emerson Fittipaldi. So Senna really on those fresh tires, looking to make a comeback. As we have someone dropping back there. Oh, we have 2 people with issues. We have Patrick de Wolf now out with a transmission issue, which is a real shame, and Keiji Matsumoto has an electrical issue. He should be able to pull into the pits, I believe. Yes, he does so. So Matsumoto coming into the pits, and he is gonna have that electrical issue resolved. It will be a bit of an early stop to even think about going the full distance now, but at least he can get the issue solved. Let's see, 5 seconds. So yeah, slow, very fast pit stops here in Mexico. And Matsumoto now getting onto the back of the field. Unfortunately, Patrick de Wolf for Zach Speed and Edison, he will be out of the Mexican Grand Prix. And now we see here Mika Hakkinen cutting his way through the field as well, getting past Nigel Mansell. So the Finnish rookie really showing glimpses of greatness as he fights his way through the field. And Alain Prost once again trying up into the last corner but doesn't make it work. And Mario Andretti sees this all unfolding in front of him as Nelson Piquet will also try into the last corner, but Nakajima holds on. Slowly now that engine power is coming into play, and you can see Nelson Piquet slowly starting to drop back now. Although he started in P10, so he's still in net positions. He is still up, obviously. Now we see Ayrton Senna here, like we said, fighting through the field, already up into P13. The Brazilian in Mexico really trying to put on that recovery drive. But he has a lot of ground to make up and a lot of cars to get past. And the next car he has to get past is the March of Mansell. Shouldn't be too much of an issue, but you can see here in the S's, not an ideal place to be overtaking. So right after that, onto the straight of Recta della Avalo. And surely he'll be able to make a move here. He goes to the inside. Will he get enough of an overlap to make the move work? Yes, he does. So it can work, but you just need enough overspeed. And Senna now on the hunt for Mika Hakkinen in front. As meanwhile, Alain Prost still hunting down Fittipaldi. But no success. Fittipaldi composed right now, managing. And Piquet up onto the inside of Theo Fabi, the second Ferrari. So Piquet, big move there. And makes it stick on Theo Fabi, as Matsumoto now also making his way through the field again. Also had an electrical issue, similar to Senna, but now fighting his way back through the field. And Prost now, once again, trying up the inside. Is he gonna make it stick? No, not quite. Fittipaldi just being able to create enough overspeed there on the outside. Carry that speed through. And Mario Andretti still in the hunt for those two in front. As Senna now tries to go for the move on Mika Hakkinen. Can he pull it off here? Nope. Not enough overlap there, and Mika Hakkinen carries the speed. Let's see if we can keep an eye on that fight. But yeah, Senna quite enough speed now, and we know the Ligier has decent straight line speed, so Senna will need a really good run to get past one of the Ligiers. But you can see now the difference throughout the corners. That's where Senna really showing a bit more pace than Mika Hakkinen, as Mika squeezes him to the inside, and Senna will still send it and get past. So Ayrton Senna now up into P11. As he's chasing down basically everyone in front of him. Now, Alain Prost might be lining up a decent move here. This is almost an ideal striking range, I believe. If he gets any slipstream, no, so not ideal enough. It's a little bit of slipstream, but not enough to warrant the move. And yeah, Mika Hakkinen now down into 12th. Holding position, and he has Nigel Mansell coming up behind with Eddie Cheever right behind him. So the two marches running pretty well here, it seems, on the Mexican circuit. The March is struggling in the past few rounds a bit, but it seems like this track suits them a bit more, and hence why they're able to fight a bit more in that midfield. As Prost now has gotten past Emerson Fittipaldi, and here is where we will maybe start to see a big difference. So Fittipaldi doing a really good job holding on there, but I expect we will see now Prost just pulling away because he's been showing pace all throughout the weekend. Got a bit unlucky off of the race start, but yeah, I think in a couple of laps here we'll start to see Prost making quite a big gap. You can see now though on the straightaway, the Ferrari does seem to have a bit more speed compared to the McLaren, as Senna now moving up into P10 past Stefan Johansson. And let's go to the back of the field here with Jeff Brabham. Jeff Brabham reporting a throttle issue, and he will have to come into the pit. So more reliability woes for the Williams squad. And yeah, they've really not been having a good run here at the start of the season. Have been plagued by reliability issues, and they're usually lucky to make it to the end of the race. Fast pit stop as well, 5.1 seconds, so well done. But you can see now Alain Prost making that gap bigger to Emerson Fittipaldi. Emerson doing his best to hold on. But yeah, you can just see that gap getting bigger. Although the Ferrari does seem to have the straight line advantage. So you might be able to make up a bit of time with that. Prost now looking really solid and carrying this race. But we will also try to keep an eye here on Ayrton Senna, as he's now pulling up onto the back of Ivan Capelli, the second McLaren. Let's see through the corners how much time Senna just makes up, and that's just a difference in driver's skill at this point, I think, as he goes up the inside of Capelli and yes, kind of scares him off the line. So Capelli just trying to preserve his race, not do anything stupid. And that means now Senna is onto the back of Theo Fabi, the second Ferrari. So Senna, even though he has to do one pit stop more, he is really fighting his way through the field, and at this point everyone is hoping that Lotus can finally at least have one of two cars finish, because as we remember now, Lotus has had 3 double DNFs, 3 in the first 3 races. So yeah, a real shame for the Lotus squad, as they were shaping up to be a real championship contender, but those dreams seem a bit far gone at this point. And I'm not quite getting past Theo Fabi, but I'm sure we will see a move somewhere down the line. Mario Andretti now slowly dropping back, as Keiji Matsumoto now also getting past Mika Hakkinen. And Emerson Fittipaldi very slightly dropping back to Alain Prost, so at a 1.5 second gap, I think, 2 seconds now. But yeah, Alain Prost really starting to streak into the distance there, as you see him in front. Fittipaldi doing a good job at managing his race on a track where Ferrari might not actually have the strongest car, so they're definitely not doing a bad job, as it seemed like Nigel Mansell ran a bit wide there. Mansell and his teammate Cheever really close on pace. As Cheever now right onto the back of him. Let's see if Cheever... Oh yeah, Cheever is looking for a move. We'll try something. Doesn't quite manage it. But is keen to get past Mansell. And Mario Andretti also just managing his race about 7 seconds behind now with a slight lock up there from Kazuyoshi Hoshino in 4th in the Ligier. As it looked like he might have been catching up slightly to Andretti. Surely now he's lost a bit of time with that lockup. So obviously Ligier now under new management in the form of Justin Dijkstra, and he hasn't taken long to make an impact, as it was reported that Ligier made a significant upgrade package coming that came after round 2 basically. So Justin Dijkstra investing heavily into the team and into the development, and seems to have paid off for Ligier. Senna now trying another move on Fabi, but not quite getting past. So Fabi doing a good job of holding off Senna, as he's probably aware that Fittipaldi is somewhere towards the front. And he wants to buy him as much time as he can, even though it'll already be hard for Senna to make up all that deficit towards the cars in front, because do remember he has to make another pit stop. While Jeff Brabham is still running, so only one retirement so far in the form of Patrick de Wolf. And yeah, Fittipaldi slowly but surely dropping back to Prost, but I mean, if he can hold on to this position, that'll be very good for him. Now Ayrton Senna once again trying on Teo Fabi. Can he get past this time? Oh, it's close, but not quite. That Ferrari just being able to carry a lot more speed through the corners. You can see the front 3 runners there, the front 4 even. So Alain Prost in the lead, Emerson Fittipaldi in 2nd. Mario Andretti in 3rd, Kazuyoshi Hoshino in 4th, Roberto Moreno in 5th, doing a really good job. Having a bit of a quiet race, Moreno, but just doing his job for Arrows, and in a solid P5. Then we have Satoru Nakajima for Lotus. And Teo Fabi running a bit wide there in P8, so a bit of a mistake there, as that'll allow Senna right up to the back of him, I believe. See here, yeah, so Senna now really close to Fabi, so that might finally allow Senna to get through. But let's see here as they go through the S's. Hide on the gearbox of Fabi, but can he create enough overspeed? That is the question. So here comes Senna once again. It's gonna send it to the inside, but just look, as soon as Senna pulls out of that slipstream, that Ferrari just shows the grunt of the engine. And yeah, this will be a difficult overtake for Senna. It's Fittipaldi now heading through the hairpin down into the S section. You can still see Prost there in the distance, but he is slowly streaking away. And meanwhile, Piquet still in 7th place, so just outside of the points, a bit in no man's land, and he has Teo Fabi and Senna a couple seconds behind. I'm sure when Senna is released, he will be on the hunt. Yes, get past PK, and funnily enough, that should be an easier overtake since the Benetton is down on power by quite a margin compared to most of the front runners. See now, can Senna force something here? I don't think so. I don't think he has enough speed. That Ferrari just too fast on the straightaways right now. So Senna not being able to make a difference so far. Fittipaldi still managing in second place. 3.5 or so seconds behind. So yeah, running further through the good order, we have Piquet in 7th, Fabi in 8th, Senna in 9th, trying to hunt down the front runners, but first he has to get past a bunch of cars, so he is losing quite a bit of time now compared to the rest of the field. Then we have Keiji Matsumoto, and then even Capelli in 11th, Stefan Johansson in 12th, Mika Hakkinen in 13th for Ligier, Nigel Mansell and Eddie Cheever, the pair of the March squad, in 14th and 15th. Then we have Michael Andretti and Al Unser Jr. for Tyrrell, both not having a great race here. Seems like the Tyrrell isn't quite up to scratch for this track. And yeah, they're just struggling a bit there as Rene Arnoux is in 18th, so the second Benetton really not running well. And then we have Jeff Lees in the Williams and Thierry Boutsen in the Zach Speed. And then obviously Jeff Brabham to round out the field. But yeah, Jeff Brabham just not having the best of luck, struggling with reliability, and had to come in for an early pit stop to fix an electrical issue. Which means now he is running about a minute and 12 behind the leader, and closest car is about 16 seconds in front of him. So Matsumoto now up into 9th. As actually, very surprisingly, Matsumoto has gotten past Senna. So Matsumoto really showing some pace here, and like we mentioned, the Minardi insanely fast on the straightaways, which probably made that pass on the Ferrari or on the Lotus and soon to be the Ferrari a lot easier. But let's see here. You can see here that Minardi, yes, just able to create a lot more space, but now that might allow Senna to come through. Let's see here. Oh no, Fabi is gonna get in the slipstream again, and he is gonna challenge Matsumoto up into turn 1. Senna right behind there. And they get into turn 1, and Fabi does get ahead here. Ooh, and Matsumoto running a bit wide on the grass there, which drops him behind Senna again. So a big scrap here for P7, 8, and 9. Or P8, 9, and 10, I should say, as Senna now tries up the inside of Fabi. He surprised him going into Essa del Lago, turn 4. And that surely means that Senna has now gotten past Fabi for good. And Fabi running wide there, which does also allow Matsumoto in front of him as he does try to fight it. And now even Capelli is also onto the back of Fabi. So a couple of mistakes there from Fabi in a short space of time, and he's now dropped back to P10. And Matsumoto and Senna getting ahead of him. As you can see now, Senna streaking away. And let's see now if that Ferrari can challenge on the straightaway, as Capelli tries something up the inside, but just not enough speed there. Let's see now if that Ferrari can keep up with the Minardi. I don't think so. Look at that. The Minardi just pulling away on the straightaway, using all the power it has to offer. do see Fabi making up a bit of time through the corners. Meanwhile, Fittipaldi for the Ferrari squad still in P2. And Alain Prost still leading the race, about 5 seconds or so in front of Fittipaldi. And I think we are coming up close to the pit window now. In a couple of laps, I think most of the teams will start thinking about pitting. And that's when we'll see who might have been carrying a lower fuel load, a higher fuel load, and who is going for that that fast second stint or that slightly more. And they have to manage a bit, as reported issues now with Eddie Cheever. So Eddie Cheever is reporting issues with his braking, and he is going to pull into the pits. The question now is, can he run till the end on fuel if he comes in now? Because I think it is very close to the pit window, but I'm not sure if he can get quite enough fuel in the car to make it till the end, so we'll have to see towards the end. So comes in there, let's see how the stop is. 6 seconds, so a bit slower than the rest of the teams, but still decent. Seeing they had to fix the brake issue, so maybe something got lodged in his brake ducts or something along those lines. But he is out now again, and Jeff Brabham now, I think, challenging, yes. So Jeff Brabham obviously made that early stop for the electrical issues he had, and now is able to get past Eddie Cheever. But in essence, Eddie Cheever should be able to challenge here fairly quickly, as he is on fresh tires. You can see there Alain Prost in P1 coming up behind these guys, and is getting ready to lap them now, but obviously maybe hoping he can make his pit stop just before he catches up to them so he doesn't get held up. Although here in Mexico, the track is pretty alright to overtake. It's nice and wide. Only place where you can be held up a little bit is through the S section where he is now, but plenty of straightaways to make the pass. As Mario Andretti now still running in a solid P3, but it does seem like he is slowly being caught by Kazuyoshi Hoshino in the Ligier behind. Andretti now doing a fine job, and the Minardi is running pretty well so far. See there on board with Alain Prost now, and you can see the March and the Williams of Eddie Cheever and Brabham in front there, as PK now being overtaken by Matsumoto, but I don't think the Benetton can put up much of a fight here on the straightaway. Now in the slipstream, but can he make a move? I don't think so. Emerson Fittipaldi still managing. Now around 6 seconds behind Alain Prost. Alain Prost getting started on lap 30, so we're almost up to the halfway point, and it's looking like another very dominant showing from Prost. His teammate Capelli not having the same luck, or maybe I shouldn't call it luck, just not up to scratch for McLaren. Capelli down there in 11th. Just not able to match his teammate. Obviously, we know Prost. I mean, a seasoned veteran in F1, and with all the trophies he's gathered from wins and championships, it would be a hard task for anyone to even challenge a seasoned veteran like Prost. But there's no real shame in being the second best in a team where Prost is present, as he is now getting closer and closer to Jeff Brabham. Let's once again take a look at the lap times. So as we take a look here, last lap times, we're looking at low 21 for our leaders, low to mid 21s, and then the rest of the field is lapping at a 22s or 23s, with some exceptions of some of the cars that have made pit stops. They're about a second faster. I can still see now Matsumoto and Senna. They seem to be the fastest right now, as they're still lapping in the 20s or very low 21s. But they're still the fastest out of the bunch. Oh, and there we go again. An email, Domino's Pizzas. I can order 2 pizzas for €21. And I don't even know what a euro is because it's 1989. Or 1988 even. If they start using strange words like euro, I tend to get the years mixed up as well that we're in. Mario Andretti now being challenged by Kazuyoshi Hoshino, as Hoshino will try to go up the inside, but yeah, it's gonna be hard challenging that Minardi on the straightaway. Oh, as now issues for Stefan Johansson. So Stefan Johansson in the arrows, reported having a loose wheel. Let's see if he is aware of the issue. Can he come into the pit? Yes, he can. So Johansson lucky here, and I think he is in the pit window, so he won't be losing too much time. I think he will be able to fill up his car to the brim, and he will be able to make it till the end. But let's see here, the Arrows pit crew is standing by. They try to resolve that loose wheel, they just bolt a fresh set on, and Johansson will be ready to go, as it's a long pit stop here as they fuel up his car. There he goes, 11.2 seconds for Stefan Johansson, so they definitely filled up his car, so I think he will make it to the end. So minimal time loss for the Arrow squad. That's Johansson's hit already out of the way, and now the question will be, when do we see Alain Prost or Fittipaldi biting the bullet and taking that pit stop? As Mario Andretti now gets his pit call, so Mario Andretti running on a bit of a lower fuel load compared to cars behind him. Oh, and Hoshino now making the move for third place into turn 1 as they go side by side. Mario Andretti still trying to hold on in the minority, but Hoshino getting past now, and on to the second straight of recta trasera they go. Hoshino putting up some defensive moves, and he will stay ahead of Andretti for now. So Ligier up into third with Hoshino. Through the S's now, the Ligier making up a lot of time. But Mario Andretti might be able to pull off an undercut here on Hoshino. come up to Peraltada. Mario Andretti is gonna come into the pits, and let's see comparatively to Stefan Johansson where Andretti, or how long Andretti's pit stop is going to take as he comes into the pit box. Let's see here. Bruce standing by. Wheels go off. Fresh set of tires on. Let's see how long the refueling process takes. So, quite a long stop here for Andretti. 13.9, so about a 2-second difference between him and Stefan Johansson. But not the best pit stop for the Minardi boys. We will have to see now, and we will have to compare that once Hoshino gets his pit call. You will have to see how big of a difference there is between the two cars, but it does mean that now Thierry Boutsen coming past Eddie Cheever. So P17 there, but Cheever is gonna try and challenge here as he pulls to the left side. Will he be able to outbrake? Oh, that's the worst time to change the camera. But Cheever challenging into ese Moises Solana. And then onto recta trasera. But Cheever challenging back now. Thierry Boutsen, and Cheever does go up the inside. Is able to get past, so great move. As we now see pit calls coming in for Nelson Piquet, who's already in the pit. And then we see a call for Senna. Obviously, we knew that he had to make that second pit stop still. And then we have Fittipaldi as well. That is going to come in. So Fittipaldi will try to undercut Alain Prost. Although it's going to be a big ask because he's about 8 seconds behind Prost right now. And he'll have to put in some insane laps because I assume Prost will pit in the next 2 to 3 laps perhaps, as well as now Stefan Johansson getting past Thierry Boutsen. So Johansson, we know, has made a stop already. Boutsen still has to make his, but he is going to challenge Johansson up into turn 1, and the Zach speed creating quite a bit of overspeed there. Going into turn 1, so Boutsen can't stay ahead as there's a bit of an issue here for Roberto Moreno. He is going slow, so Moreno trying to get into the pits. Oh! And Senna just edges in front of him. So Moreno had to be very careful with his brake issue there going into the pits, and Senna just sneaking up past him. So they'll both be coming in, and yeah, 12.8 seconds for Fittipaldi, so not much faster than the Minardis. Johansson had a pretty quick stop, but we'll see now here Roberto Moreno and Senna, how close that might be. So Senna 13.4, Moreno 11.7, but he is going to be held. Really quick pit stop by the Aero squad, but unfortunately Senna just had that position in the pit lane there, so very unfortunate. Moreno will still be in a net P6, I think, unless Mika Hakkinen has something to say about it. Hakkinen still has to pit, so Toru Nakajima has also made a pit stop, so he will now try a move on Mika Hakkinen up the inside here. Inessa del Lago, yes, he does manage to do so. My real question now will be, what kind of lap times can Emerson Fittipaldi do? Let's see if he's gotten a clean lap in this time around, because these laps will be crucial if he wants to challenge Prost. So let's see as he comes across the line. 147. So this must have been his out lap. See now, still no pit call for Alain Prost, so going really long here. And even Capelli also getting his pit stop out of the way. Drops him back down to P17. See now, Stefan Johansson getting past even Capelli. Capelli just coming out of the pits on cold tires, I assume. Johansson getting past. So we now see Hoshino. Oh, Thierry Boutsen moving slow there. So that'll be a second retirement for the Zach Speed squad, unfortunately. So Eddie, I think, if I'm not mistaken, both cars actually suffering from a transmission failure. So that's something the Zach Speed squad might have to look into, as they'll pull off the stricken Zach Speed there of Boutsen. So yellow flags in that sector. You now see some of the cars moving more slowly, but they'll just make that car disappear in the trees. And Andretti already made his stop. Nelson Piquet now getting the pit call. Also Hoshino getting a pit call. And Alain Prost still going strong. So Prost looking to have a very fast second stint, I think. But at the moment, Emerson Fittipaldi making around 2 seconds a lap. So if Alain Prost waits a little bit longer, he might actually end up behind Fittipaldi. And as we saw in the first part of the race, it took quite a bit of time for Prost to get past. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Let's take another look at the last lap time. Yeah, so Fittipaldi now in the 19, so about 2.5 seconds faster than Alain Prost the last lap. And he's making up lots of time here. So it will definitely be interesting to see how the pit strategies work out here today. You just gotta hope that McLaren didn't leave it too long for Fittipaldi to capitalize. Fittipaldi is now catching up to Keiji Matsumoto. Prost now getting his pit call on lap 40, so this is where we'll start to see how much difference that early pit stop from Fittipaldi has made, as he's taken another second or so out of Alain Prost. He's now catching up to Keiji Matsumoto, but Matsumoto obviously still has to make that pit stop, I believe. So only hope here for Fittipaldi is that he doesn't get held up too much by the minority in front. Or maybe Matsumoto will be able to carry on until the end, I'm not quite sure now. See if we can actually follow. So Mika Hakkinen and Nigel Mansell both in, as Eddie Cheever and Teo Fabi go side by side through the last corner. And we'll now see here Alain Prost coming into the pits as he slows down there for the pit entry. And now this is where we'll start to see the strategies play out. So we'll come into the box. Hopefully he doesn't get held. Looking good so far. Waiting for that fuel to come in. Oh, he got held slightly there. I don't know, but a really fast pit stop for the McLaren boys, as Fittipaldi and Matsumoto now coming through the last corner. And you can see there, Prost in front. He will be on cold tires. Might be able to get up to the back of him here, but So perfectly timed by the McLaren squad, I want to say. As Prost gets out just ahead of his competitors. And now he'll be on a light fuel load, fresher tires than the cars behind, so we'll see him pulling away now, I think. But a big battle still here for P2 with Matsumoto and Fittipaldi. You can see that, oh, bit of a mistake from Matsumoto. As Fittipaldi is now right onto the rear of Matsumoto, but again, that Minardi really fast on the straights. You can see Emerson Fittipaldi right onto the back. Through the last corner, through Peraltada. And he is going to try and pull alongside, but you can see, ooh! Oh man, very close there. And a bit of hesitation from Matsumoto has allowed Fittipaldi to come through, but that was a bit of a hairy moment with PK coming out of the pits there, I think. I want to say, was it PK? Let's see. Yes, it must have been PK coming out of the pits. Yeah, that could have been a whole lot worse, but drivers really had their work cut out for them to not cause a collision. As Prost now still ahead, and I'm sure at this point he's just gonna put in a bunch of really fast laps. As Stefan Johansson now trying a move on Ivan Capelli. And he does create a lot of overspeed here, going into SM Moises Solana. Johansson is through on Capelli. So yeah, there we go. So a pit call for Matsumoto now. So it was like I thought it was. So Matsumoto still having to make a pit stop. Surely he will be very fast as well for that last stint. Hoshino now. Let's try to get back onto that battle. So Hoshino fighting with Senna now. Senna obviously making a second pit stop, but Hoshino looking very competitive. Well, let's see if Hoshino can manage something out of the S's here. Can he create enough overspeed in the draft? Let's see, so he gets a bunch of slipstream here. Good exit out of the corner. I don't think he is. So he's gonna try and chuck his nose up the inside. Oh, and he does make the move. Bold move there by Kazuyoshi Hoshino and Ayrton Senna. And he does get through, but Senna will try to speed past once again on the straightaway. And there's an issue in front for Mario Andretti. Let's see here, Senna gets past on Hoshino again, but now Andretti reporting electrical issues up from P3, and he is dropping back there. He's trying to nurse the car back to the pits, I believe. And you can see now Ayrton Senna getting past, and now Hoshino also getting past, so Andretti just going really slow at the moment. You see now Roberto Moreno in the back also catching up. So this will be a tough task here for Andretti, first having to nurse it to the pits, and then he'll have to make up a whole pit stop of time. He will obviously have fresh tires, so that might be one saving grace for him. But you can see there Moreno now in P6 catching up. And Andretti comes into the pits, so I think that will temporarily put him out of the points. But hopefully the Minardi squad can get this fixed. So let's see how long this pit stop is going to take for them. He comes in now. They'll bolt on a fresh set of tires. Hopefully it's not too fast or too slow of a stop. Let's see, 5 seconds to solve that issue. So not too much of a time loss, but obviously has dropped Mario outside of the points now. The one to really capitalize off of that is Satoru Nakajima and Roberto Moreno, as Moreno once again running solidly in P5. So the Aero squad having a bit of issues early on, but now they're really coming on into their own, and they've had a solid couple results now. The Moreno now, last time around, I think he finished in 4th, if I'm not mistaken. He can bag another 5th place here. That would be really good for the Aero squad. That might see them move equal on points with Zach Speed. We're currently 6th in the constructors. Aeros are 7th. Moreno doing a good job now. We can see now Ayrton Senna slowly making a bit of a gap. Stefan Johansson now challenging even Capelli. Up into turn 1. Let's see if Johansson can pull off the move up on the inside. Not quite. Capelli being able to outbrake Johansson. As Jeff Brabham gets another pit call. Johansson really hounding the back of that McLaren with 20 laps to go. We have a bit less than a third of the way to go. And actually, surprisingly, there's been a... cars have been pretty good on reliability here around Mexico. So far, I don't want to jinx it, but so far they've been running pretty well. Oh, big issue now. Jeff Lees, let's see. So Jeff Lees reporting a loose wheel. And let's see if he can make it back to the pits. We'll follow him around. But he still has a long way to go, about half a lap until he gets to the pit stop. Or to the pit stalls, I should say. Let's see here, he's going very slow. Oh, and something happened in front. Oh no, and the other Williams is in the gravel pit on the outside. And it doesn't look like Jeff Brabham is able to get his car moving again. Yeah, so he will be out of the race. So one of the two Williams out of the race now, I think. Yes, Jeff Lees is able to get into the pits, but another calamity for the Williams squad, as they were already running dead last, and now one car is out and the other has to come in for an extra pit stop. Obviously isn't great to see. Fittipaldi still managing in second here, has a very big gap to Ayrton Senna behind. Senna really done a great job fighting back from the back of the field with that extra pit stop. But the real story, of course, is here Alain Prost. Another dominating performance. Kazuyoshi Hoshino also managing to do pretty well as he's still trying to keep up with Ayrton Senna. He's not too far off, to be honest. Let's compare their last laps. So yeah, Senna doing a 20.2 and Hoshino doing a 20.4. And now there's a big difference though, 7/10 for that last lap. Yeah, most of the cars here running pretty well today. There's Fittipaldi now coming onto the back of Mika Hakkinen, I think, and Theo Fabi now getting past Jeff Lees. Jeff Lees with that extra pit stop is now quite a ways behind. Ross still just carrying on, putting in lap after lap, and yeah, his last lap time is about a second faster than Emerson Fittipaldi, and he's the fastest man of the field by far. Really dominating performance here by Prost. Fittipaldi now getting close to Mika Hakkinen in front. Actually, let's take a look at the difference in lap time between Fittipaldi and Senna. So Senna last lap about half a second faster. So I don't think it's gonna warrant Senna fighting with Fittipaldi unless Fittipaldi starts making mistakes, but Senna having a really good recovery race and has really showed his pace, and the Lotus car running good so far. Again, don't want to jinx it. Had a lot of misfortune in the previous rounds, and they'll be looking to get their cars to the end now with a point finish. Fittipaldi has gotten past Mika Hakkinen now. And the next car on his radar will be... Is it Nigel Mansell? I think it is. Yes, it will be Nigel Mansell in front there. The March squad. Prost obviously still in that lead, out 15 seconds ahead of Fittipaldi now. Oh, McLaren really running well here at the Mexican Grand Prix. They've looked solid, although it's just one of the two McLarens. Even Capelli, second, McLaren really not running that well compared to his teammate. As Theo Fabi now fighting with Nelson Piquet, and we have an engine issue. Big engine issue. We're looking for Emerson Fittipaldi. Here it is, smoke coming out of the back of the Ferrari of Emerson Fittipaldi as he, So, oh man, is he... I don't think he's gonna be able to make it back to the pits with this. This might be a critical failure, and fire now. Fire and black smoke coming out of the back of the Ferrari. As we're looking here, Fittipaldi really has to pull over that car and get out of there. With the smoke billowing out, yes, the engine just died on him there. And let's see, pull over the car really quickly, get out of there. See now, I think Andretti coming past, but yeah, Fittipaldi pulling off in the gravel trap there, and he will be getting out of his car. So in a very unfortunate retirement there for Ferrari, as Fittipaldi was running really well up until that point. That'll be a retirement for Ferrari, unfortunately. And that now means Ayrton Senna is up into P2, Kazuyoshi Hoshino up into P3, Moreno up into P4, which would be a really good finishing position for him. Then we have Keiji Matsumoto and the second Lotus of Nakajima also in the points. See now here, Stefan Johansson is in a big fight with both Theo Fabi and Ivan Capelli. That second Ferrari, unfortunately, quite a way off the point. And after that wonderful race for Ferrari, that 1-2, which was the first of the year. Unfortunately, not the same luck here at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. So it'll be a bit of an easier run towards the finish line here for Alain Prost, even though it didn't look like anyone was gonna challenge him here today. For a long time there, Fittipaldi throughout the first stint was holding him back, but as soon as he got past, he was really able to spread his wings and pull away from the rest of the field. As Hoshino now running in third, only 3 or so seconds behind Senna. You can see him in the foreground there. And we have Fabi here, the second Ferrari, running in 11th. Just not having the greatest race here after his second place in the Monaco Grand Prix. Oh, and more issues, smoke billowing out of the back of the Tyrrell here. Al Unser Jr. is also having an engine issue, so towards the end of the race here, more of the cars starting to probably struggle with the heat a little bit, and that also, for a lot of the lap here, the cars run at full throttle, so it's gonna take a toll on the engine, and that's the second engine we see having issues here today as he's moving really slow. Let's see how long he's gonna keep going, but surely he's gonna pull off here in a moment. There's some sort of chemicals coming out of the back of that car. There we go, so yeah. Luckily no fire for Al Unser Jr. But he is gonna have to pull off the car, so one retirement for Tyrrell now as well. As we have Just about 11 laps to go. Very unfortunate, of course, for the Tyrrell squad. As the marshals will clear up the car. Yellow flags being shown in that sector, so the cars will slow down a little bit once they come through there. Now Jeff Lee's here, running at the back. Really unfortunate race for Lee's here today. As always, the Williams squad just struggling with reliability, and Lee's fallen victim to it here today, and is just running on his own, 2 laps behind the leader at the moment. We're close to it. And he'll just be looking to finish the race at this point. As Senna still in P2, so we still have 17 runners so far. But yeah, Senna definitely not gonna be able to challenge Prost anytime soon. As Prost is now coming to lap Nelson Piquet, I believe. But we still have the order as it stands right now. Alain Prost in P1. Then we have Ayrton Senna in P2 for Lotus. Then we have Kazuyoshi Hoshino for Ligier. And then we have Keiji Matsumoto in 4th for Minardi. And 5th will be Roberto Moreno in for the Aero squad. And then 6th will be Lotus. So quite a neat little thing there that the top 5 is actually all different constructors, so it shows how competitive the field is, and really shows that most of the cars on the field are like able to fight for the points. As Alain Prost just making his way past Piquet there, and the next car he will be looking at is Andretti, but Andretti is quite far along, and he'll be setting quite fast laps as well now on those fresh set of tires after his issue. And Hoshino still running solidly in P3. And Senna looking good now for the Lotus squad. Again, both of their cars in the points right now, which would be great for the Lotus squad. Would shoot them right up the standings. And they've had enough misfortune in this first half of the season. They really deserve some points with the pace they've been showing. Senna now coming up to the back of that'll be Michael Andretti for Tyrrell. But yeah, Tyrrell not having the best of runs either here today. Been lacking a bit of pace throughout the weekend. And ooh! big shunt there as I think either Senna or Andretti somewhat misjudged the space they had. But a bit of a shunt there, which shouldn't make too much of a difference, but a bit of a scary moment. And now we have Eddie Cheever trying to challenge Mika Hakkinen for position. Cheever not quite managing to. We also know that the Ligier is quite rapid on the straights. And Cheever, not so much. Oh, but we see now brake issue for Satoru Nakajima. So Nakajima will probably have to come into the pits as Mario Andretti comes up behind him there. So Nakajima with a brake issue, he might be able to strap on new tires and go for the fastest lap, as he'll be on a really low fuel load. Which will give, if he does get the fast lap, that might be at least some of the financial aspects saved. Let's see, 5.3 seconds, but surely... Oh, he's gonna have to put in some... He's gonna have to put in 6 to 7 quali laps to be able to even think about challenging Andretti at this point. How far he's behind. But we'll keep an eye on him. Well, unfortunately, towards the rear end of the race here, Nakajima dropping just outside of the points. But we'll see if he can make that deficit up and maybe challenge for them. Gonna be a tough task, though. Prost doing a good job here. I'm interested to see Nakajima here. Just interested to see what kind of lap times he can put in. And if he's able to get anywhere close to the time of so far Alain Prost, which will be at 18.7. So Prost the only driver to get into the 18s, really showing his dominance here today. Toru now comes up behind, I think even Capelli. I'm sure Capelli won't make too much of a hassle. See now Nakajima does get through. He would have been held up a little bit here, so let's see what kind of lap time he can put in. 19.6, so not even anywhere close to Alain Prost's fastest lap. He is in traffic, so we might see a faster lap here soon, but oh man. Or is that Prost? Oh yeah, that is Prost and Nakajima. Oh, that's Nakajima being lapped by Prost. Oh, big shunt there. Big shunt by Prost, and I'm not sure who was at fault there. It kind of looked like Prost cut in on Nakajima. And yeah, the stewards will have to look at that. Nakajima keeps on running now. Let's see if he can now put in that fastest lap. This lap he will get a clean run, I think. We'll see here. We'll follow him around for this one. As we come towards the end of the race, will Nakajima be able to salvage something with a fastest lap here? It's now being reported Nigel Mansell with a loose wheel. So Nigel Mansell might have to come into the pits. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make it. But I'm a bit unfortunate here in the last couple of laps to suffer from that loose wheel. See now for Nakajima, can he beat that 18.8? Let's see as he comes up to the line, what will it be? No, a 19.6, so he isn't gonna get close to that fastest lap. As he will now get past Jeff Lees. Now Senna coming past will be Eddie Cheever. Maybe Eddie Cheever can use Senna to get past Fabi. Have to take a look at that, but Hoshino still running solidly in P3. Been in no man's land here, but doing a great job now, and it does mean now that Mario Andretti is in the points as well for Minardi, which is quite good to see. Matteo Fabi now letting Ayrton Senna past, but also Eddie Cheever. So Eddie Cheever saw that opportunity there with Senna and has taken it and has moved himself up into P11. As Alain Prost now coming across the line to start lap 66. And let's see here, can I get back onto... Yes, here we go. Senna is actually getting challenged by Cheever here a little bit. Fabi will now maybe try to challenge into T1, but he's actually being challenged by Mika Hakkinen. So Mika Hakkinen now, as they go 3 wide into turn 1, hopefully this ends well. Yes, it does. They just about manage, but Cheever holding on and Mika Hakkinen in front of Teo Fabi. You can see now behind them Kazuyoshi Hoshino coming in to lap them. Realistically, he doesn't necessarily need to lap them because he has a big enough gap in front and behind him that he's not really fighting for anything more or less. Prost is on the final lap here and will follow around the driver that has been most dominant so far, as he actually makes a little bit of a mistake there last lap. So fatigue may be getting to him. But he is heading towards his second victory of the year, which would make him the only driver to have two victories so far. And so as he comes out of the S's through the last corner of Peraltada, it's gonna be Alain Prost taking victory at the Mexican Grand Prix. As the Finnish flag flies there, Prost comes across and wins the Mexican Grand Prix with his teammate right behind there. He was in P9. But a wonderful job there by Alain Prost. And now we have here Ayrton Senna. And the first time that the Lotus squad will finish a race this season, Ayrton Senna comes home in second place. Not too far behind will be Kazuyoshi Hoshino in third, so Ligier doing a good job. And then Keiji Matsumoto getting more points for Minardi. They've had a bit of struggles with reliability, but managing to get both cars across the line is Roberto Moreno for Arrows once again, P5. So solid job by the Arrows squad and Roberto Moreno. Then comes Mario Andretti in P6. So double points finish for the Minardi squad, which will really help them in the constructor standings. So very well done. Unfortunately, Satoru Nakajima just outside of the points with his late brake issue. Then Jeff Lees comes across the line there, so Satoru Nakajima in P7. Then comes Nelson Piquet, the first of the two Benettons. And yeah, what an eventful race. It's good to see a big grid of cars actually finish, so I think we only had 5 retirements this race, which is good to see, of course. But it does mean that Alain Prost is gonna come away with the victory, and that'll shoot him right up to the top of the driver's standings. Well, he's already there, but it'll give him a bigger gap. And I think that might also mean that McLaren moves back into the constructors' lead over Ferrari. But we'll have to see that when the standing comes out. So let's take a look at the full race results. So we have Alain Prost in P1 for McLaren. Then we have Ayrton Senna, which is a notable feat here because Lotus has been struggling with reliability throughout the year for the first 3 races. And they make good now with a P2 for Senna. And then Kazuyoshi Hoshino for Ligier, for Justin Dijkstra, really doing a good job in P3, closing off that last podium position. And then we have Keiji Matsumoto in the Minardi. Good job for Martin de Knecht, sorry, as I lost his name for a second there. But it's a double point finish here with Matsumoto in 4th and Andretti in 6th. So I'm sure Martin will be very pleased with that. And then we have Roberto Moreno in 5th place. So also great for the Aero squad. And just outside of the points, we have Satoru Nakajima for Lotus. Unfortunate, but good to see both of the Lotus finish. And then we have Nelson Piquet in the Benetton in P8, Ivan Capelli in the second McLaren in 9th, Stefan Johansson in the second Arrows in 10th, Eddie Cheever for March in 11th, Mika Hakkinen in 12th for Ligier. Then we have Teo Fabi for Ferrari in P13, Michael Andretti for Tyrrell in P14, René Arnoux in the Benetton P15, Nigel Mansell in 16th for March, Jeff Lees 17th for Williams, Alan Sir Jr. for the Tyrrell squad in 18th, unfortunately retiring with an engine issue. And then late on in the race, Emerson Fittipaldi also retiring with an engine issue. So unfortunate for Ferrari. They can't repeat what they've done in Monaco last time around, but I'm sure they will bounce back. And then Jeff Brabham in the Williams with a DNF, as he's made a mistake going into the last corner, I believe, and he was stuck in the gravel on the outside. And then 2 transmission failures, unfortunately, for Zaxpeed. So they've not had the best of times, but yeah, I'm sure they will regroup and regather for the next race. So we are heading into a upgrade round, which will mean that the cars next time around will come with more upgrade packages, and that might shake up the grid a little bit more, and might see some changes pace wise and just overall reliability wise. That's still something the teams have to work on. But yeah, it's been a great race, and we will see you for the next one. Goodbye.